Jokers Us Gaming's proud presents to you some Blue Jays baseball on MLB The Show 24. Today, the Blue Jays will take on the Miami Marlins. The pitchers will be Show Me a Tommy. Well, actually, I will not actually. I don't think I'm going to have Show Me a Tommy pitch. But anyway, this is the last game of the season because they'll be at the Rogers Center. Expecting a big crowd here today. Arno will pitch today. Show Me a Tommy will be outfield instead. Davis Snyder will be in left field. Second baseman Joey Votto will play first base today. Let's see. And also gonna have Bo Bichette sit, get Francis Lindor, and just because he hasn't played, Jose Ramirez. So there we go. And there is the lineup for the final game of the regular season of the Blue Jays season here. This will be the final pitchers for the season and the final game for both squads. We now take you to John and Chris to call the rest of the action between these two clubs. Boys, the floor is yours.
For joining us. MLB The Show's Game of the Week is coming your way. It's the Miami Marlins and the Toronto Blue Jays. John Shambi and Chris Singleton with you. So the Toronto Blue Jays have taken the first two games of this series, and today they'll go for the sweep. They played well, Chris, and they're looking for more of the same in this one.
Yeah, they've been the side shaking hands on the field after each game so far. Played solid baseball, earned those wins, as you said, but every game offers up its own unique challenges. So we'll see what those are today, but there's always a little extra motivation when you have an opportunity to sweep a series.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. About to get started here. And today's starting pitcher, Aaron Noel. Ziggy, he's managed to rack up a lot of innings on the mound this season.
Hey, Boog, this guy's getting close to 200 innings on the year. You know, there's some milestones that pitchers go after. One of them 20 wins. But another one that we don't talk about a whole lot is that 200-inning threshold. To be able to surpass that says that, hey, they prepared themselves for the season. They were able to stay healthy, and they were able to pitch effectively enough to stay in ball games long enough to reach that number. Pretty impressive what he's done, and it's not over yet.
Chisholm gets his lead at first with nobody out. Struck him out swinging. Pulled the string of the changeup.
Now, it can be so tough as a hitter to pull yourself out of an extended slump that lasts for several games, even a week or more. Right now, he's really in one, so I'm sure his mind is all over the place, racing, having a hard time sleeping, trying to figure out what can get him back on track, back to feeling more comfortable and settled in the box.
Ryan De La Cruz, adding with one down, takes a strike. Runner on the move. Throw to second.
Usually when you see a team try to steal a base in the early innings, it tells you they want to be aggressive on offense, try to force the defense to make plays and slow them down.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. And it's a 3. Bottom of the first. And now the right fielder, George Springer. He set a new career high in home runs this year. And Siggy, he's just trying to set the bar as high as possible now. And he held up. Alcantara, a former All-Star. He features a sinker, a changeup, a four-seamer, a slider, and he occasionally uses a curve. Next offering is in for a strike.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
This is just off the outside edge. I think that was a strike. Right through there for a strike.
And boy, that was the pitch. 3-1, you want to be really aggressive on the fastball.
And that one in the air center field. Chisholm going back on this one. And there's 1-1. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. And a big part of it, a guy with a great track record, Shohei Ohtani.
Boog, it's kind of a joke that this guy's got a career OPS over 900. I mean, there are a lot of players that think that they can just do that in one season, but he's done it his entire career. And in reality, there's only about 60 players that can claim that type of production.
Popped up to the left, into foul ground.
I imagine being this is the last game of the season, everybody's going to get in.
Francisco Lindor to the plate now. Fans love him, but he's pretty popular with the players, too.
He certainly is, Boog. A player survey on MLB.com listed him as one of the friendliest infielders.
Well, we'll hold that thought as that's the third out, and we'll end the inning. Scoreless after 1. And welcome back to the ballpark. New inning getting started. And at the plate for Miami, Jake Burger. Ground ball left side. Going up, one down. Now it's the shortstop, Nick Gordon. In the air, left field, under it. Calls it in, 2 away.
Well, off to a great start. He's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up to go deep into this game.
Avisail Garcia in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball. Foul ball there. Here's a 1-1. And it's fouled away. Two outs. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2. Back here at Rogers Center. Now it's the DH, Brandon Bell. Right side, hard hit. Newman to first in time. And a quick out, number 1. Here's Shohei Ohtani. Another solid power season. That one lifted to left. Sizes this one up. And he can't make the play.
That's a ball that a lot of times you see the shortstop or left fielder be able to get to if it hangs up in the air long enough. But right there, it just died and found a way to drop in on the green stuff and base hit.
Tag and Ohtani is out. They picked him off. Foul off. Line to kick the pitch. Foul off to the right. 2 out, space is empty.
Now this is a good time to step out of the box, take a deep breath, reset. A couple of change-ups. Probably won't see another one here.
High fly ball near the goal. That one is out.
Also really good at batting. I like about this guy. His bat stays in the zone for a long time. Gives him the ability to foul tough pitches. such a tough time putting him away. 6 foul balls in a row. Man, what a battle.
That one off the mark. Going to count 1 and 2.
This guy's a fun guy to watch taking it back. He just battles up there. He doesn't take it.
Absolutely crushed. And that one is going to win by a man down by the river. A gigantic blast. His 44th home run of the season. It's 1-0. He kept swinging and it paid off.
Close battle. He just kept taking shots. Finally squared one up.
And now, number 36. Line drive. And foul ball. This one smoked out to left. And makes the play, and that's out number 3. Jose Ramirez with the homer here. It's now a 1-0 ball game. 30. Back now in Toronto. All set for the start of the inning. And now it's Vidal Brujan. And a foul ball.
It's always fun watching Nola pitch. He's one of the best pitchers in the league because he knows how to control a baseball. He's got an excellent command of his pitches, which keeps his walk rate low and helps keep him out of trouble.
Leadoff hitter gone in the 3rd. Josh Bell at the plate now. 2 for 6 so far in the series. Swinging a foul straight back. The Marlins trailing by a run here in the 3rd and final game of the series. Next offering is in for a strike. In the air, pretty deep out to center field. Ohtani under this one. He's there. He's got it. And there are 2 down. Now the catcher up to hit, Christian Bethencourt. Over there for his strike.
The guy's going this good. He's retired 7 in a row. He's going to step out of the box, fake bunt, do something to break it up.
Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. The Fish down by a run. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And good work there as he gets a 1-2. And we're back, bottom of the inning. And now here's Jeff McNeil. Swinging a foul back, that's out of play. And the 0-1. Out towards right center field. Brujan really on his horse. No trouble here, puts it away for the out. 1 down. Next to hit, Austin Wells.
Definitely scuffling at the dish lately. Only 2 hits over the last 5 games.
That's hard hit on the line. 2 down. Back to the leadoff spot, the Blue Jays lineup. And it'll be George Springer to step to the plate. Swung on, and there it goes. It is high. It is far. It is gone. His 46th of the year. It's 2-0. He absolutely feasts on right-handed pitching and powers that one for a home.
And you can see that's what he expects of himself. In fact, after at bat, he's that confident.
Left-hand batter waits. And there's a foul ball. The pitch. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. 2 down, bases empty, but 1 run across here in the last half of the 3rd. Harrison misses, it's a strikeout. Toronto picks up 1 on this homer. It's now a 2-0 ball game. And welcome back to the ballpark. On to the 4th, Jazz Chisholm Jr. now. Roll over to Votto. 0 for 1. Right through there for a strike. And there's a rocket into the outfield. Around first and hustling for second. And he'll pull into second safely.
Just a really nice job running on that bench and smoking it down the line. There's no one playing there, so once it drops in fair, you're on your way to extra bases.
De La Cruz, the batter now as he swings and misses for strike 1. Hard hit left side. That's out number 2.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Bird in the box now. No balls and a strike. Ripped to short. Lindor on first. Out number 3. Marlins lead 1. They trail things here 2-0. Back here in Rogers Center. Bottom floor. Now up to him. Francisco Lindor. First pitch misses.
Here's a game Lindor will never forget. One night in July of 2023, he went 5 for 5 with a home run, 2 triples, and he scored 3 runs. That stat line is so rare. Only one other player has done it. Guess who? Willie Mays in 1958.
Up to the plate, it's Brandon Belt. Grounded out his first time up. Swing and a bouncer. Already 2 gone here in the home four. 2 outs, bases empty. Shohei Ohtani up to the dish. Fall off foul. 2 down, nobody on. And a foul ball. That one missed.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pitch misses, and the count is even 2-2. 2 down, nobody on. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. That's out to center field. Chisholm settles underneath it. Makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. So up next, Nick Gordon. As he turns on the rubber, with that good live arm delivers. Pulls that one foul.
You know, these Marlins just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. Chasing pitches has been a big part of the story. We've seen it quite a bit today. It's been tough for them to make contact at times, and it just doesn't look like they're seeing it very well as a group.
Chases swing. Appeal down the third. No swing. Earl Hendricks with the call. The 1-2. Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle to base hit. So a man on base to start the inning.
He was all over that. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
Abisail Garcia up to the plate. He was a strikeout victim his first time. In there for strike 1. Gordon gets his lead at first. Nobody out. Garcia, 32 years old, and he's usually in the outfield. Today, he's the DH. And there's a ball.
You know, people don't realize how far the jog is from the dugout to the outfield position. And if you're playing in Oakland, man, it's a country mile to get out there. So for him to be able to be the DH today, that is really a nice day off. Oh, nothing too fancy on the strikeout pitch right there. Just a low 90s fastball. I'm not sure he was trying to challenge him, but that's pretty much what happened. There he hit a little location. He found a way to just get it by him.
And the batter now, Vidal Brujan. And the 0-1. This to third. Ramirez tossed to second, and that's 2. He continues to ready to go for the last half of the inning. Here's Jose Ramirez. to work. Rips one to right. That's a fair ball. It's getting into the corner. The throw in. Safe and sound.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. It's always fun to see a double rip down the line. That one just barely stayed fair. So that was a good call by the umpire. He was all over it.
And a foul ball.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
On the ground to third. Slings it across. And that's the first out in the bottom of the fifth.
No, he didn't recognize changeup earlier and got out in front a little bit, rolled over on it, and beat it into the ground.
Jeff McNeil stands in.
So easy to look at the big boys in this lineup, but he has been a pleasant surprise all season long.
Puts it in the air out towards left center. He's got it. 2 away now. The throw is wild and it gets away. Austin Wells next up for the Blue Jays. 0 for 1 so far. That one's in there on 1.
If he doesn't get a knock right here, that pitch he just took is going to eat at it for a while. Might not see another pitch like that from a top-level guy like this.
And on second, 2 down. And that one is inside.
0-2 fastball way out of the zone. I think he's trying to speed him up. Got to stay back. Off speed's probably coming.
Swing and a ball lifted left field. De La Cruz makes the grab. That is the third out. As they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. All set for the top of the 6th. And now here is Josh Bell. The right-hander back to work. That one misses, and it's 1-0. And another ball.
The rest of the lineup could learn a thing or two from this at-bat right here. He's been patient, and now he's in the driver's seat with a 2-0 count.
The line to kick the 2-0. Just off the inside edge.
Now with this 3-ball count down in the ball game, you've got to be very selective. Take your walk if they'll give it to you.
In for a strike, now 3-1.
Clearly taking all the way there in that 3-0 count. It was a cookie right down the middle.
Fouls one away, and now 3-2. Pitch. Bounce that off to the left, and we'll do it again. Righty delivers. And there's ball 4. That's a great at bat. He saw a lot of pitches and earned a walk.
It's tough after falling behind a hitter, 2 balls and no strikes, but now at least he gets a fresh start against a new batter. But he needs to get back into the strike zone and start pitching with conviction.
Method in the box now. Take strike 1.
Good approach right there. Get something just a little higher that you can elevate. Stay out of that double play.
And that one is lifted in the air. Springer there makes the catch. 1 away. Oh, the throw is wild.
There we go. Good recovery by Jose Ramirez.
Jr., the next up for the Marlins. 1 for 2. manager out of the dugout now, and it looks like we'll see a change on the mound. Out of the bullpen for the Jays, Eric Swanson.
Still a lot of game left, and this game could go either way. So this is a big opportunity for him to get some important outs and try to help carry this lead into the later innings.
The 0-1 comes up empty. That's strike two. Hit on the ground might be two. To second, there's one. From first, might be. Kevin Newman, the next up for the Marlins. And that one fouled off. 2 outs. Way out front, strike two. This one popped up, foul ground first base side. Votto makes the catch and a goal. So the Jays pen does its job nicely there. Top of the order, 2 up in the whole half of the 6th. Back now in Toronto. Here's George Springer to start it off. Back to work. Swing and a high fly ball to left. And there's one down.
Good pitch. He just kind of had him out in front on that pitch away and was able to stay close.
And the batter now is Joey Votto. In the air, left side. In position. Makes the grab for the second out. 2 outs, base is empty. And next for Toronto, Francisco Lindor. Line drive, and that's a base hit out into center field. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
Didn't take long to get a result for that at bat. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
Brandon Bell next up for the Blue Jays. Towards right center, that's well struck. Chisholm going back, and it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. The run scores all the way to first. It's 3-0.
These hitters today are so great with handling velocity. They're seeing high speeds day after day, and a nice job of turning them around.
Now here is Shohei Ohtani. He's got it, and that is out number 3. But a run will score in the inning on this RBI double. It's now 3. Welcome back. We're in the 7th. We have a new pitcher on the mound. Matt Barnes.
Well, you see the ERA very solid, man. That doesn't always tell you the whole story, but he's been really good so far this year.
And the pitch. On the ground, Votto. And he takes it himself for the out. And up next for Miami, Jake Burger. Oh, one there. 1 out, base is empty. And now 1-2.
Calling this one, the offense has sputtered. Somebody's got to find a way to get on, keep the line moving, and manufacture at least 1 run. I think you get 2 or 3.
1 down, base is empty. Ripped on the ground is second. McNeil gets first. And 2 away to start the 7th. Nick Gordon, the next up for the Marlins. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Well, as good as things can be, it can be a tough day at the office, even for the skippers. Seeing the offense just sputter, not able to get anything going.
2 down, nobody on. You're in the top half of inning number 7. And a swing and a miss, down on strikes. Marlins set down and award. Nothing doing for the Marlins. They trail it here, 3-0. We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Hall.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitching. pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Now it's Jose Ramirez. He's already homered here in this one. And a pitch. And one out to right. Makes the catch. One up, one down.
He was all over that first pitch fastball. Just barely missed it. Man, this guy was ready to hit.
So now pitch hitter for the Blue Jays, Dalton Varsho. One out, the base is empty. Swing and a ball popped up. Newman under it. He's got it. And there's two away. Now it's the second baseman, Jeff McNeil. Pitch hitter coming on, Whit Merrifield. Trying to get something going for him with two away. Bounce to the left side. Gordon to first, and they go down fast. 3 out. So remaining in the game defensively, Dalton Varsho. He'll be the new left fielder after entering the game as a pinch hitter. So a lefty out of the pen, Tim Mesa.
50th time he's come into a game this year. He's been relied on out of the pen quite a bit.
Now at the plate, Avisail Garcia. Pitch is in there. Strike one.
Well, it's critical right here that they bear down and turn in some quality at bats. Try to chip away at that lead, because if it gets to the ninth, that closer's coming in.
0-2 now. Gets a piece and stays alive. Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. And that should be extra bases. Pulls into second. That's a double to start the 8th.
Pretty much just a textbook double into the gap, and when you can drop one in there between the outfielders, you know you're making the turn at first. Just an excellent swing.
Ruhan stands in here, takes ball 1 low.
Well, they kept it pretty quiet in this series. Still doesn't have a knock. I know you want to get that first knock out of the way, maybe more calm, but you got to give some credit to the pitching staff. They've had a great plan against him.
And there's one down. Here's Josh Bell.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the ninth with a 3-run lead, it should be a W.
Hard hit right side. Gets it first, and they get the out.
Couple of pitches and a quick out.
And now for Marlins, Christian Bethencourt. Right through there for a strike. Swung on, belted. Springer ranging back towards the wall. Pulls it in on the warning track. One hit, one left. Home half of inning number 8 straight ahead. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. A.J. Puck.
Bringing in the lefty with the left-handed hitter coming up to hit. Classic bullpen move right here, so we'll see how it works out.
Bottom 8, welcome back. We've got a pinch hitter, Danny Jansen. And he deals. Now fly ball to right center. And there's one down.
Almost a loud start to the inning on that first pitch, man. He's going to want that one back, no doubt.
Back to the top of the lineup, and the batter is George Springer. He's already homered in this game. So now pitch hitter for the Blue Jays, Evan Longoria, looking to start something with one gone. Tall lefty, 28 years old. They went out and made a trade for him last season. Absolutely crushed, and that one is going to win by a man down by the river. He'll touch them all. It's 4-0. That's their 3rd home run of the game.
They're having a lot of fun at the plate in this one. They've got the long ball working for them on autopilot.
So now pitch hitter for the Blue Jays, Alejandro Kirk. Swing and a miss, and that one missed by a ton. One run across in the frame so far. Here, the bottom half of the 8th inning. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. Ruhan snags it for the second out. And now it's Frankie Lindor, 1 for 3. So now pitch hitter for the Blue Jays, Bo Bichette. Timeout asked for and given at the plate now. Into center. Sizing this one up. And that is that. One scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. Last chance. Staying in the game on defense, Danny Jansen. He takes over behind the plate to do the catching after entering the game as a pinch hitter. Also into the ball game, Bo Bichette. He's in at shortstop. Also entering the game, Bryce Harper. He takes over at right. At the plate, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Now into the ball game on defense, Kevin Kiermaier. He'll be patrolling center field. And here it comes. On the inside corner for a strike. Multi-time All-Star. He features a slider, a four-seamer, and he works in a two-seamer. And the righty deals. Up the middle, Bichette. Tosses to first, and he gets the leadoff man of the night. He's 2 outs away. Kevin Newman getting ready to hit. Bounced up the middle. Roll over to Logan. Now only 1 out remaining. Ryan De La Cruz now at the plate. 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Right through there for a strike.
There it was. Oh, here it is. Hit it. Gets a take. Gets ahead in the count.
And that is cut on the pitch. But it's nothing but 2. Vermont is just 1 strike away. That misses the zone.
We're down to the possibly the final strike of the season. And the Jays could sweep Miami. And they do.
And that wraps it up for this afternoon.
The 6th win in a row. All of a sudden, you start to look around up and down the lineup.
And the Blue Jays win.
More good. May have had some tough times earlier on, but this is a good team, and you start to expect this kind of play out of yourself. We'll see if this translates into a longer win streak than it is right now.
Here, Noah will get the win. Sandy Acora will get the loss.
Here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. We'll see you soon for the next game of the week.
And we look at the highlights of today's game. There's Jose Ramirez returning from injury, hits a home run. George Springer, he dings 1 more out for the season. Brandon Belt would hit 1 out for the year. And Evan Lagorio, who got called up in place for the injured Vlad Guerrero, hits 1 out. And Jordan Romano throws the final pitch, which is a strikeout to end this year's season, with the Jays leaving on a winning note. Berger and Bell do not do any damage this time, as they had did in this series. Garcia goes 1-3 with a double. Kevin Newman goes 1-4. Chaz Chisholm would not get a hit. Toronto's Brandon Belt would go 1-3 with a double. My mistake, I thought it was a home run. Evan Longoria, of course, he comes in, gets a home run. Springer goes 1-3 with a home run. And Jose Ramirez goes 2 for 3 with a home run and a double. But the player of the game goes to the winning pitcher, Aaron Nola. That will be it for the season, as now we go to the postseason. Let's look at that category and see where we're at when it comes to the playoffs. With John, Chris, and the rest of the crew, I thank you for watching Blue Jays baseball on the show. Blue Jays finished this season with a 133 record and 29 losses. They've won the division and will be taking on the winner of the wild card playoffs. The regular season has came to the end. Here is the playoff picture. First, let's talk about the National League. The number one team in baseball, of course, the LA Dodgers. The team that ranked second in the standings was the Atlanta Braves. They both get the bye. The third team would be the Milwaukee Brewers. They will take on the sixth seed team, the Cincinnati Reds. Whoever wins that will take on Atlanta. Why, Arizona, the fourth seed, will take on the fifth seed, the Philadelphia Phillies, who were having a great year and then dropped near the end to finish fifth. The winner of that series will go on to take on LA. In the AL, for the wild card division, you got the fourth seed New York Yankees taking on the fifth seed Minnesota Twins. The winner will take on the number one seed and the best team in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays. And with that, we have Kansas City, the third seed, taking on the sixth seed, the Texas Rangers. Rangers, of course, had a dreadful 3 games against the Jays, where they only won one of the 3 games, so they dropped all the way to 6th. Whoever wins between Kansas City and Texas will take on the Houston Astros. So there is the playoff bracket as seen by you, the fans. We'll return where the next episode we will go on to find out who Toronto will face in the ALDS series. With that, I thank you for watching Blue Jays baseball on the show. Oh, wait, I gotta do one other thing. Let's go to league leaders. Jose Barrios had the most strikeouts with 248 strikeouts. He had 23 wins. He pitched the most in the season at 240.2 innings. His whip was 0.83, and Jose Barrios WAR was 7.0. Brandon Belt ends up finishing the year after beating the 73 home run record with 81. Kevin Kiermaier will finish the season with 66 stolen bases. Brandon Belt will have the most RBIs at 146. Bo Bichette has a batting average of 358. Bo Bichette also had 212 hits. And Brandon Belt has 126 runs. For the National League, the batting title will go to William Contreras. He had 334. Hits goes to Freddie Freeman at 194 hits. For the most at-bats for the National League was Donna Summer at 661, while it was Jeremy Pavetta Pandya at 667. Doubles goes to Trey Turner at 53, where we, of course, the doubles ended up going to Jeremy Penda at 61. Triples ended up going to Corbin Carroll with 15 for the National League, while Bobby Witt Jr. of Kansas City was with 12. In the home run department, of course, Danny Jansen was the closest guy to Brandon Belt, who had 81, of course. RBIs, home runs for the National League, I should say, was Mookie Betts beating out JT Martinez, there we go, Martinez, by 1 with 44, while of course JT had 43. RBIs for the National League was Ketel Marte of Arizona with 115. Brandon Belt, of course, was the leader in the American League. For runs, 121. It was a tie between Ronald Acuna Jr. and Mookie Betts. But of course, if you were looking at the overall stats, 126 go to Brandon Belt, the overall winner in that. Stolen bases, Kevin Kiermaier at 66 for the American League. Carlos Crowe at 63. Oh, what a close race that was. Base on balls, Freddie Freeman at 105. 88 for Nathan Lowe. Louis Gorman at on base percentage, it was 425 for the National League. It was Freddie Freeman at 424. Slugging goes to Marcus Oslin of the Braves with 611, while of course Dalton Varsho had 815. No one was close to him. OPS, Dalton Varsho at 1.174 for OPS. The National League was Marcus Ozuna at 1.012. Yusei Kikuchi had the most wins in the National League. A lot of it came from Toronto. He got 21 for the season, but of course, Jose Barrios of the Blue Jays in the American League had 23. 2 losses was to Jose Urique, while Edna Rodriguez had 2 himself for the National League. Saves for the American League was John Snyder at 54 saves. Virginia of the Braves had 48, beating out Cruz by 1. ERA, Yusei Kikuchi at 2.48. While the American League was Jose Urique at 2.53. Home runs allowed. Tyler Wells allowed 14 home runs, the least out of all the pitchers for the American League. While it was Jesus Lazarus at 16. Shutouts. Spencer Strider of the National League had 4. So did Yusei Kikuchi and Zach Wheeler. For the shutouts for the AL, we had 4 of them. John Means of Baltimore, Ben Lively of the Guardians, or I like to say the Indians, Neso Cruz Jr., who will be a free agent after this year, with 4, and Taka Suibra of the Tigers had 4. Strikeouts. Jose Barrios, of course, had 248 strikeouts. The most, though, goes to Spencer Strider at 259. Complete games. Yusei Kikuchi had 9 complete games. Neso Cruz Jr. was 6. Innings pitched, the most was, of course, Jose Barrios at 240.2, while Yusei Kikuchi had 235.2. Walks allowed. Yusei Kikuchi only allowed 16 walks, while Jose Barrios only allowed 1 for the whole year. Impressive. Whip. Jose Barrios was a 0.83, while Yusei Kikuchi of the National League, thanks to playing with Toronto, was 0.83. Pitch Ward, 6.7 for Yusei Kikuchi, while Jose Barrios topped his former teammate at 7.0 for the American League. Batting Ward, 10.1 for Dalton Varsho, via Danny Jansen and Brendan Belt by 0.1. For the National League, it was an 8.7 for Mookie Betts. And there are the overall stats. Now let's go to the awards. First, the Player of the Month. Okay. Guess we don't find out the Player of the Month for September yet. For the awards, here we go. The winner for the Cy Young Award, the best pitcher in baseball, is Jose Barrios. For Golden Gloves, it was awarded to Shomi Itami. Franciscus Lindor. Left fielder, Dalton Varsho. And George Springer. For the American League's Hank Aaron Award goes to Dalton Varsho. And for the MVP, American MVP, is Dalton Varsho also. Bo Bichette wins the batting title for the American League. So, the most valuable player, once again, Dalton Varsho. Varshed is the American League's MVP, while the National League will go to Spencer Strider. For the Cy Young, Spencer Strider will win the National League, and of course, as you know, Jose Barrios wins the American League. Batting title, of course, goes to Bo Bichette. For the American League, National is William Contreras for the National League. Bo Bichette was the American League, correction. Reliever of the year for the National League, Mark Leiter Jr., while it was John Snyderbird for Kansas City. Rookie of the year, Evan Carter for the American League, and Andy Page of the Dodgers for the National League. The National League's Hank Aaron Award goes to Marcus Asuba. He joins his teammate Ronnie O'Connor Jr., who won it last year. Of course, Dalton Varsho beats out his teammates Bryce Harper, and he is the Hank Aaron Award winner. Golden Glove for pitcher Shomi Otani. For the National League, it's James Talton. For catchers for the National League, Patrick Bailey. For the American League, it's once again Jonathan Himes of the Texas Rangers. First baseman for the American League, Ty Francis of Seattle. For the National League, Joey Gallows of the Washington Nationals. Golden Glove winner for second base, Jarrett Turritio of Pittsburgh, while it's Marcus Stroman from the Texas Rangers. Third base, Golden Glove goes to Corey Chucklone of the White Sox, while the third base is Vegas of the National League. Vegas. For the shortstop, Han Swon Kim of the San Diego Padres is the Golden Glove shortstop, while American League is Francisco Lindor. Golden Glove lefty is Dalton Varsho of the Blue Jays, while Hernandez, the soon-to-be free agent, once this year is completely done, is the Golden Glove for the left fielders. Center fielders, Adam Duvall of the Braves for the National League, while it's Jose Siri of the Tampa Bay Rays for the Golden Glove for center fielder. Right fielder Golden Glove goes to George Springer of the Blue Jays for the American League, and for the National League, it's once again Feliz Jr. of the San Diego Padres. This is his back-to-back year he has won the Golden Glove. DH slugger goes to JT Martinez of the Mets, while Brandon Belt is the DH slugger for the American League. Silver slugger for catchers, Danny Jansen. William Contreras once again wins it for the National League from the Milwaukee Brewers. National League's Christian Walker is the silver slugger from the Arizona Diamondbacks for the National League. For the American League, it goes to Blue Jays' newest member, Bryce Harper. Silver slug for second base, once again, is Texas Rangers, Maurice Seaman. Why Kendall Martina of Arizona Diamondbacks is the National League. For the third base silver slugger, it is once again Atlanta Braves, Austin Riley. Why Rafael Devers has won it once again. This time with the Cleveland Indians, I like to say, even though it's the Guardians. This is back-to-back years for him. Silver slugger for shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. for the American League from the Kansas City Royals. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mookie Betts is the National League. Outfielders for Ron Acuna Jr. is one of the National League silver sluggers, while Dalton Varsho is the other. Silver slugger for the American League again, outfielder goes to Giannis Alvarez, while Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers for the National League is the silver slugger. And then the last silver slugger for the National League is Kerry Carpenter of the Los Angeles Dodgers, while the American League goes to Michael Trout. Mike Trout, the center fielder from the Los Angeles Angels. We won't find out for the postseason until the postseason is done, while the World Series MVP, same thing. So there are the rewards for all the players. We say congratulations on a hell of a year. Thank you for watching this episode of Blue Jays Baseball. And as I said before, John, Chris, and the rest of the crew, I thank you for a great year to help call most of the action and show these great plays that were played during the season from the Toronto Blue Jays. And to you, the fans who periodically stop by to watch this series of 162 games for a complete season of Blue Jays baseball, with the Jays winning 133, losing 29, I thank thee also. Until next time, we will be back with playoff baseball, where it will be the ALDS, where the Jays will wait for the winner between the New York Yankees and the Minnesota Twins. Could the Yankees be heading to their rivals, the Blue Jays, or will it be the Minnesota Twins? Both clubs have given the Jays some interesting games this season? We'll wait to find out next time on the show. Thank you for watching Blue Jays baseball, and we are now officially signing out for the 2024 season. Thank you.